Mr. Colley, you recognize strike the last word.
I think it's disturbing that my colleagues question the integrity of my friend from New Jersey and what his intentions are this afternoon. Questioning his intentions as an American citizen to request that the President do what he pledged to do in the election to the American people. At some point that he would divulge his tax returns when the audit is over. He made that pledge, I would remind the gentlelady from South Dakota. For fish or not, he made the pledge. He misled the American people. And he also said that once the election was over, he didn't have to give over his taxes anymore because he won. It's president today, and we're not. We get that. But he made a pledge. He promised the American people he would disclose his tax returns once the audit was over. And I would remind the gentlelady that his returns for 2016 are not under audit. And yet he still refused, after becoming president, to disclose those taxes. So to impugn the integrity of the gentleman from New Jersey, I think, is irresponsible. Irresponsible to do that. That's not our motivation. Our motivation is to find the truth. And this is an aspect of it. The issue here is not about the politics. I know that's uncomfortable, but it's not. It's about our country. It's not about embarrassing you either. But don't impugn the integrity of the gentleman from New Jersey or anyone else here who questions the president. It's about answering the basic question, who is President Trump fighting for, himself or the American people? For example, earlier this winter, the president issued an executive order announcing that pipeline makers in the United States must use American steel in their projects. I support that action. I suspect you all do. But just a few days later, President Trump quietly reversed himself, issuing an order allowing the steel for Keystone Pipeline to be imported from foreign countries. This unilateral action deflates the initial boost to U.S. steel producers and hurts the jobs he had promised to create just a few days prior to that. Now, why this sudden change, an uncharacteristically quiet reversal on U.S. steel? We don't know fully, but we do know that Donald Trump owes hundreds of millions of dollars in debt to banks all over the world, including at least $300 million to German-based Deutsche Bank. The bank used to hold a 100% share in the German steel firm Kloeckner & Company, propping it up for years as it competed with American steel makers. We also know that Deutsche Bank is currently experiencing serious financial problems, and some of Germany's top industrial companies have discussed taking a share in the bank to help it financially. Essentially, German steelmakers would repay Deutsche Bank's past support by propping up the bank during its financial troubles. We even know that President Trump reversed his made in the USA order on steel. Deutsche Bank released a report which stated, quote, "The period up to 2025 offers the German steel industry good prospects for a stable and economically sound future," end quote. So did President Trump reverse his order on U.S.-made steel because one of his largest creditors may be rescued by German steelmakers? Did President Trump put his financial well-being ahead of everyone else? I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong, and quite frankly, I hope I'm wrong. And is it very easy for me to be proven wrong? Show us the returns. If President Trump is not being controlled by foreign bankers and other outside influences, he can prove me wrong by releasing all of his income tax returns and financial statements like every other president since Richard Nixon has done. But for now, without direct knowledge of the conflicts this president is under, we don't know why he is saying one thing like, I will show my taxes once the audit is over, but yet do another once he's elected president. All we know is in the end result is an uneven playing field for the American worker. The question will continue to hang over him and my Republican colleagues who continue to protect him until we get definitive answers. There's another example that I probably don't have time to go into, but I will ask a colleague to yield me time in the future. if they have additional time. So, Mr. Speaker, I'll yield back the 4 seconds that I have remaining.
Thank you, Mr. Crowley. And for the record, Mr. Pascal is the author of the resolution. Ms. Noem questioned the legality of the resolution.
Mr. Speaker,
Question the
Mr. Speaker, she
Not at
impugned
this
his
time.
integrity. She
Not at this
impugned his
time.
intentions for bringing this
So-
legislation before the committee
Please,
today.
comments.
She did not.
So,
No, she
Mr.
impugned
Crowley.
his intentions. Mr.
Regular order. Ms. Noem did not impugn his integrity. In fact,
I
she
beg to
questioned-
differ.
Well, I appreciate that, and I know you certainly aren't impugning Mr. Trump's integrity either.
I'm asking questions,
Mr.
Mr.
Ms.
Chairman.
Noem.
I'm asking questions, Mr. Chairman.
Ms.
That's right.
Noem, question the
I
legality.
think the American people know exactly what's going on here.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They're watching.
They
They're
do,
paying
Mr.
attention.
Crowley.
They know.
Absolutely
They know.
do.